This part is gonna be fun. Let's see about the chest. I have some very interesting luck. It's almost dreamlike. What should I do? I know what I have to do. Light the room and find this. Wait a minute.
Figured out that this creature is something known as a canyon crown. Its body. It then says that we went on this trip to find Aunt Maya, and I think that was Maya. Before the video ends, showing us random images of headless men standing by the Grand Canyon and standing in front of a sign that says "Head Off Trail." I don't even know if it's worth beginning to analyze that now because it's not going to make sense without context from anything else. One thing I will say is remember how she said, and at the end of the video we figure out that this person's name is Lauren. So remember how Lauren said we went to find Aunt Maya? I think that was Maya. If you'll remember, the other time that we heard Maya mentioned was Maya Arnoldson, who was falsely put as a Lincoln Looker for 2 weeks. This girl's name at the end is mentioned to be Lauren Arnoldson, so it's reasonable to assume that Aunt Maya Arnoldson is the Maya Arnoldson mentioned in Lincoln Looker. But that may seem confusing, like why was she a Lincoln Looker and made to sit in the statue? Why did they even put people in the statues? And now why is she the giant floating meatball thing? These are all questions that will be kind of answered near the end. Next up on the docket is Freedom Fowler. I'm sorry, I'm just now kind of realizing, without context going into this, this has to be a lot of just like the weirdest stuff you've ever heard at once. And in the beginning I said try not to sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist. I'm definitely doing that right now. And I apologize, but this one's going to make it way worse. I will try to help at the end, but I'm so sorry. Freedom Fowler opens with excerpts from a series of exchanges that took place in 1858. What they're discussing is the contracting and construction for the Statue of Freedom. We see in this telegram conversation that an architect says to an engineer, "Freedom must stand on Capitol Dome." The engineer then tells a sculptor that they would like a design for a lady to stand at the top of the Capitol building. After several weeks, the engineer asks the sculptor again if the statue is ready, to which a detective tells that engineer that the sculptor has died and they're sending Freedom on a ship known as the Monarca. Freedom is the name for the real-world statue that sits on top of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. This is describing the construction of that statue itself. In part 2, Daughter, we see a story from someone known as Nina Crawford. Nina Crawford is the daughter of the aforementioned sculptor who built the Freedom statue itself. We see that Nina asked her father to make a statue that looks like herself. However, on April 10th, her dad left for the studio and never came home. After Nina's mom goes to look for him, she comes back home and locks herself in the bedroom before investigators and the police come, to which the